lovers, the moon is a thing of beauty. But to this man it is a deadly curse. When the moon is full, this miserable wretch turns into a hairy, snarling half-man, half-beast. Prowls the night, his fangs thirsty for human blood. He is a werewolf.
Hello and welcome to the Werewolf by Night podcast, the show where we talk about Marvel's number one lycanthrope, Jack Russell, a.k.a. the Werewolf, a.k.a. the Beast, a.k.a. the Shaggy One, a.k.a. Russell Jackson. I'm your co-host, Matt Howell.
I'm your other host, Jacob Balcom.
Thanks for joining us this week, listeners. We are here back with Season 2. This is our second episode, and I hope you got caught up with the last one because we had a great time talking about Spider-Woman number 6. And we're still sticking around the Spider-Woman verse here for our second episode. I did want to mention that these stories are not collected anywhere, not in an Epic collection, not in an omnibus of these stuff we're reading for this season. So if you are wondering, some people did send us mail and voicemail saying, what the hell are you guys reading next season? I posted that on our Patreon page. So if you go to patreon.com/werewolf by night podcast, there is a post that's called like Werewolf by Night Season 3 issues or something like that. And it's anyone, you don't have to be a Patreon user to look at it. Anyone can see it. And you can see what the reading order is for this season. So you would know, for instance, that we are talking about Spider-Woman number 19. Right, Jacob?
That's right. I looked at our reading list, and yeah, there's quite a few issues of Spider-Woman we're going to cover this season. Kind of excited.
Well, she kind of had he piqued her interest last time.
Definitely. And like you said, I know we promised we weren't going to do this every episode, but Matt, I read ahead. I read the issue before this too, as you did, I think. So
ahead, like the next issue from 19?
Yeah, I read 20.
See, I didn't go ahead. I have principles, but you can do it however you want.
Well, we're not covering issue 20, but I went ahead and read it.
Yeah, but it's like the Darkhold in your mind now. It's in there.
Yeah, it is. That's fine. It's written on a cellular level.
Yeah.
In my body.
Okay. How did that work out for most Doctor Stranges?
Yeah.
That's fine. No, I thought you were going to say that we were reading I've been having on a Spider-Woman kick, just reading this entire run. And just after the issue we talked about last week, Wolfman wrote 1 or 2 issues. And then Grunwald came on, and I've been absolutely loving how berserk it is.
It's really wacky. I mean, especially, I know we'll talk about this as we go on in the episode, but the difference between issue 18 and 19 is massive.
Yeah. I think so far the last issue before this one we're talking about tonight is my favorite. It is a straight up horror story.
It's horrifying. It's totally a terrifying issue where really bad shit happens.
Yeah.
And gross shit like Cronenberg shit happens.
Yeah, Cronenberg came up in my mind as well. And yeah, and the Brothers Grimm, there was some stuff there I didn't know about them that was revealed. I don't know if you read those issues, but I had no idea their origin was that. Did you read those at all? The reveal of like from 14 or 13 or whatever?
Oh, no, I didn't read
their
those.
True nature? Okay. Well, it doesn't get talked about very much in later issues. It's very weird.
You can mention it when we have that recap page in this issue right before us.
Okay. Yeah, because this is from 1979, and I don't need to apologize for talking about something that was came on the stands when you were still filling your diapers.
Nope.
You were in diapers till like 5th grade, right?
4th grade,
okay.
Technically.
Cool. So...
if
you want to call and leave us a voicemail, that's 971-220-5865 or 971-220-JUNK for, mnemonic sake. Here's one now.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Jacob. Jackson T. Overstreet. Glad you guys are back. And while you were on hiatus, I came on at the very beginning of the second season. I promised myself if you guys went on break or something that I would catch up. So while you were on vacation, I read all of Werewolf by Night and listened to every single one of your episodes. And let me just say, some shows don't start strong. You guys have stayed so consistent that it was such a pleasure to listen to you guys, like, 3 or 4 times a day for the last month. So, yeah. Hey, really quickly, did you, in Swamp Thing's original run, the first 24 issues before it was canceled, did you know that they tried to turn him into a superhero like they tried to turn Jack into a superhero? Alec Baldwin actually had the ability to turn from human into the Swamp Thing and then back. They even changed the logo. It lasted like 2 issues, and there was a third that was written and almost completed before it was canceled. But it's the art is by, I believe, Nestor Redondo. It's really good. But anyway, just an interesting coincidence when the horror boom started to die that they tried to turn some of them into superheroes. Forgot to mention, this is for Jacob. So the John Kowalski stories, not only were they collected in the Chris Claremont collection, but in the Marvel Omnibus, Marvel Horror Lives Again, I think the 6th, it has Blade, Santana, Wendigo, Lilith, Ulysses, Bloodstone, Amphibian. The 6th one is John Kowalski, and it has all of the War is Hell and the Man-Thing stuff. So it's complete. So mention that to people, because I went and got the Chris Claremont one, not thinking I had it, because I never cracked the Marvel Horror Lives Again. And the day after I bought it, I realized I already owned all of them. Anyway, stay furry. Bye, guys.
Cool. Thanks for that call. And I have the Marvel Lives Again horror omnibus as well, and it's still in its cellophane, so I did not know that at all.
Oh, you guys leaving stuff in cellophane.
It's like in case of emergency.
It is break in case of boredom.
Yeah, just, I'm sure I'm going to get into there this season.
Oh, that was an awesome voicemail. Thank you, Jackson. And I'm still glad that I bound all my issues of War is Hell, of course, philosophically. But yeah, I knew they were in that Chris Claremont one, but it's cool that they're in that Marvel Horror Lives Again one as well. Because yeah, I think everyone should read them. They're some of my favorite Bronze Age comics that we just might cover in future seasons, because I think it is damn worth it.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I could open that omnibus and just completely destroy all its value.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, if you want to give us a call and let us know interesting stuff like that, we always appreciate it. So 971-220-5865 or 220-JUNK.
I love it. I love voicemails.
Yeah, me too. I love them. I love hearing from people. All right. So let's dive in. I'm ready.
Okay.
So this is cover dated October 1979. And the cover has pencil and ink work by Bob Layton, right? He's got both credits. I don't know a ton about Bob Layton. I associate him with Iron Man. I know he's like in the 80s. I think he drew Iron Man for like a pretty long run.
Yeah. He did some cool stuff. I'm not as familiar with him. He came up in a previous issue. He came up, I think, in the second season. So yeah. I know we did a larger bio on him in that episode that I did not revisit.
Yeah, so, yeah. No, I knew you had done it. I knew he had showed up in this run of the show, but he's a guy that I whenever I see him, I always enjoy his work. I just Google image searched him today, his name and the word art, and was just like, oh yeah, I've seen some of his Iron Man, and I don't even care for Iron Man, and I like this.
Yeah,
this cover is no different here. In my opinion, this is an absolutely perfect composition for a cover. It has the banner, and then it says guest starring Werewolf by Night with the logo. And we're in the alley of a city and in LA. And it's cool that the way Layton really made the place really evident here. So there's in the left, there's like an alleyway, and there's some garbage cans, and there is who we find out later is Buck Cowan, unconscious on the floor of this alley. Above him, Spider-Woman is clinging to an alley wall, and there's a bullet just missing her and hitting the wall. Your eye goes down that bullet track to the gun, and you see the Enforcer, which is a character that I've always thought was kind of cool looking. He has like a full black bodysuit and body armor on, and like a weird kind of Harlequin mask. Like it's just like not Harlequin, but like just a featureless white mask that's always creeped me out. So I always thought he was cool. And then in the background of this whole thing, there's a full moon and Jack on a nearby like 2-story roof growling and like looking on over this whole scene. So your eye goes from Spider-Woman down the bullet to the Enforcer, then directly up to the moon and the werewolf, and then back to Spider-Woman in this perfect triangle of just kind of a circle. So I never get tired of it. I just constantly love it. And I love, like I said, like in the background, there's a little stucco house with like some tile roof, and there's palm trees. So it's very California. And yeah, Layton's pencils and inks are just beautiful. What do you think? Yeah,
I love it. I especially love the lettering on the Enforcer strikes. It's really cool. It's brick wall lettering, but it's on this cool black background. I did not realize that was Buck. I should have put that together. I guess I didn't. But yeah, you're right. That totally is Buck Cowan.
Well, I mean, it's hindsight, right? I mean, you have to work backward.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. It's a really cool cover. Like the layout is really cool. And I even don't mind the little, extra thing under the Spider-Woman title. It says guest starring Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
And even though I kind of miss the to know her is to fear her.
I think that's a great tag, honestly, for this book.
It's a great tag.
I don't think that should have gone away.
No, I like it. I'm sure it would have made everything a little too busy, but maybe not. I feel like this is a real good example of perfect cover composition.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is as busy as a cover should ever be. And you're right. There's a flow to it that makes the construction really artistic and beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I love the coloring. I forgot to look up who did the coloring, if they, if we even know. Well, often we don't. But the way that the garbage cans and the unconscious male, who we're assuming is Buck Cowan, is all cast in kind of a purple monochromatic treatment down there. It's just really cool, man. And that spotlight effect, like the bullet glancing off of the alleyway wall and like sparking and making this light. So Spider-Woman's background is kind of lit up with like a spotlight. It's so good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Perfect. And the way that the werewolf is backlit by the moon is also just, I mean, and it's almost like he's in his own portal, like, like a graphic design element, like coming through a doorway of lunacy.
I know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump to the next page, our opening page. So the title of our story is The Beast Within, and the cast of creators. So we're just last names for this creator list on here. So Grunwald, writer; Infantino, artist; Grant, underwriter; Esposito, over artist; Novak, letterer; Sean, colorist; Stern, editor; and Shooter, over editor. So we got they're having fun with the credits a little bit.
So who's Grant?
Grant is Stephen Grant, who his first Marvel credit was just 4 months before this, in Marvel 2-in-1 52, I think. It was from June of 79. He worked at Marvel for a while, doing kind of fill-in writing, a little here and there, and he even hilariously wrote an issue of Moon Knight as a fill-in.
That's funny.
During the Mensch Sienkiewicz run.
So what is his like GCD credit for this? Like, is it like plot versus like scripting, or like I don't understand?
They were both credited as writers. It was weird. There wasn't like a specific kind of thing, I think, if I remember from when I looked it up. Yeah, kind of weird, but I think, I'm not sure. I mean, he did kind of do either scripting or plotting or dialogue or whatever it should be credited as for Grunwald a little bit at this period. They did work together. And even though I'm not sure why 2 writers were needed on this particular issue, but, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do we need to say anything about Mark Grunwald? Because, I mean,
I think you should.
I mean, I only say because he's so, kind of ubiquitous. Like everyone knows and loves the guy. In case you don't, he'd been at Marvel for about a year at this point, and I think we're October of 79. And it seems that his first writing credit is actually when he takes over Spider-Woman from Marv Wolfman in issue 9.
Oh.
He's going to go on the next decade to be a legendary editor and author. Even did art too. Like he really did everything, and did everything super well. I feel that you and I probably love his Cap run.
Mm-hmm.
the best out of all of his stuff, which is so it's probably one of my favorite cap runs really of all time. But that's stupid. It's everyone's favorite cap run.
Yeah, and really. To be fair, that is probably like what I associate him with. So it's not just that it's the best. It's like what I'm mostly exposed to. So this was cool to know that this is his first Marvel stuff or his first Pro stuff. Spider-Man.
I think it's damn close to his first Pro stuff.
If that's the case, then he was a wunderkind because. I mean, I don't know how old he was, but I mean, like I immediately first issue he took over for Wolf when I was like, okay, I like this direction. I like this voice. I like what he's doing. Like he has a thing going, the same way that Minch did. But it took Minch a few issues to kind of like resolve some of Friedrich's storylines and just kind of get his legs. And then Minch really was rolling. Grunwald was like hit out of the gate. Like, nope, I got it. This is already fully formed in my head.
Yeah, I don't think Grunwald was very old. I think he was in his mid-20s because, sadly he died in 97 from a heart attack, probably from a congenital heart defect, and he was 42.
Yeah.
So he's in his he's 20, so he's born in 55, so he's 24.
That's a shame.
So, yeah, that was a huge loss for the community. And so his other most famous run, probably aside from his cap, is Squadron Supreme, which, is
the maxi series.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm a fanatic devotee of this. I have the omnibus. I read it once a year. I absolutely love that story.
I'm ready for a reread because just on his cap run and that alone, I mean, fuck, that's some of the greatest stuff done in comics. So, and pretty cool that he left instructions that his ashes be used in the printing of a comic, and they were used in the printing of the first Squadron Supreme collection.
That's right.
And I had to look that up to make sure, because it's in it's kind of an urban legend. And so I actually had to look it up and make sure that it was pretty confirmed that did actually happen.
Yeah, I didn't want to verify that because I didn't want it to be dispelled, right? Disproven.
No.
Cool.
And it's so fucking cool. And, okay, for this issue, good old Mike Esposito handles the inks. So, they're going to be clean and precise. So if you're into that kind of thing, you're going to love this issue.
This is, in my opinion, Esposito is a perfect pairing for what Infantino's doing in this run.
They're of one mind.
Yeah. He tempers some of the kind of loose, colony things that Infantino's kind of doing, which is not his normal style. And it's like Mike's coming in and just kind of I don't know, he's locking in and tightening everything up the way that, so it's much like a much younger Infantino looking in the end.
Yeah, it's really funny. The art in this is so almost what we would consider kind of classic comic art of this era, just rote, I would say cookie cutter, but it's the best cookie on earth.
Yeah.
It looks like everything should, but there's something really cool about the storytelling, about the panel layouts, little tricks that they do throughout the issue. So I think that this art team is out of sight.
So do I. And one thing that I didn't mention in the teens issues that I have been reading is not only is there a distinct horror or weird fiction bent through the whole thing, but there's also a huge romance comic element that Infantino is having a blast with, and just throwing back to old, decades old layouts and stuff like that, and treatments that is so cool.
I just kind of love where Carmine's at in his life at this point. We talked about it last episode, just how he's kind of free. He's had so many responsibilities over the last 10, 12 years. He's been publisher, editor-in-chief. He's been at DC. He's had to deal with all sorts of crazy shit. And now he just gets to be a crazy artist just on his own terms. And I feel like he's having a kind of a youthful renaissance at this point in his career.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree 100%. I love this splash page, by the way.
Oh my God. Yeah. So the splash page, holy shit. It's like a full page illustration. It's a poster worthy illustration. I
would have bought this if it were a poster back in the day.
Oh, I know. And it doesn't even need to be blacklight. It's perfect as it is. Mm-hmm. So the opening narration reads, "She glides through the sky above Los Angeles as if she were one of dawn's crimson fingers. But her mood is that of twilight. She is numb, drained, spent, barely able to perceive the wind on her skin or the emotions in her breast. She is the Spider-Woman."
Oh,
It's pretty
See?
awesome, right?
I love Grunwald, and I love the way he writes her. I mean,
I would
Rosy
almost...
Fingered Dawn, he's referencing Homer. I mean, come on, what's not to love? God
No,
damn.
he's just, I think that, yeah, like you were saying, Grunwald's having so much fun with this series, like right out of the gate for him. He doesn't seem to be too self-conscious. Like he's just letting it go. Like this guy was a legendary comics fan. Like he was the continuity guy. Like he was what E. Nelson Bridwell was to DC, like Mark Grunwald was to Marvel. Like he was the guy you went to for continuity questions.
That's right.
I think Mark Waid probably took his place after that, but yeah, I mean he is a fan first and foremost, and I think that shows in all of his writing, and that's why we love it so much.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's go to the next page.
So on the next page, she's obviously in a funk. She's out gliding around. I love that she doesn't fly, like there's no cloud or dust when she takes off. Like she glides. It's such a strange distinction, and it fits her character and her temperament so well.
It's such a great aspect of her character. It's like she's not Morbius. She doesn't have hollow bones. Like, there's not a lot of explaining and exposition you need to do, but no, she glides. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a perfect compliment to her character.
Yeah. And it's Hydra. It is actually her suit. It is not powers, which I thought was a cool thing as well. So yeah, she's in this funk, and she's had a lot of like bad luck lately going on. And so we get this nice little mental montage in the clouds where she's thinking about her latest adventures. She found out her boss was Necra. She became a secretary in an Est type of like cult, like self-help cult. And turns out her boss was Necra, and Necra was horrified that her weird pheromone thing was making her feel things, which made her want to find out like what makes her feel and kill her and stop it from ever happening. Jess went absolutely fucking berserker like Wolverine and just bashed her head into the mansion floor until she was in a coma. She's in a coma now. And the guy we talked about before, that Magnus, he left to become a magician, and he's not where he's supposed to be, so he just disappeared mysteriously. Jerry Hunt, the guy, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that she was dating, he's gone. He went back to London. They kind of separated in a weird, cold way. And then last issue, she met a dude at a disco, which is an issue we were talking about, that she calls the Wax Man, and he just has living separate skin from his body. I can't even begin. You gotta get issue 18. It is so freaking weird. But she's had a really bad run, and she's really shaken up by this. And so we see her land outside of this institutional kind of building with a big stone fence around it. And she's thinking in her thoughts, all the narration saying like, this is the solution to her problems. Here's where she can find the help she needs. She goes in the bushes. She takes off her long black hair wig, and she has a shorter, spunkier kind of hair, like the chick from Scarecrow Mrs. King when she was in Charlie's Angels. What was her name? Kate Jackson.
That
kind of hair, like she's like that girl. So she has that hair under. She dresses into regular clothes, and she's approaching it, and she's going to go in and get the help she needs.
Yeah, the what's it called? What is the institute called? I know.
It's got hate in it. It
does have hate in it, which made me laugh. Yeah, I mean, it's so, God, I was searching forever in my brain, being like, okay, what weird new age cult is this like? And I'm like, Est, of course.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking all these other different things. I was like, I don't know. It's very like, I think it's kind of an amalgam of a bunch of different weird kind of culty new age stuff from that from that era.
When she's looking for a job, she has a hard time finding a job because of her pheromones, but she does get a job there and starts undergoing treatment. And you're right. It is an amalgam of a bunch of things, but she says it's kind of like Est, like when that storyline first starts.
I love it.
I think we see in this issue, or maybe another one, where they kind of gang up on her. No, that's this one, right?
That's this one, yeah.
And they say like Scientology things. They say they use a lot of the buzz things from different pop psychological.
Oh, it's great. They're suppressing and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Well, we'll get to it. That's my page, and I'm very excited to talk about it. So, okay.
Before we move on to the next page, what are you imbibing on?
I'm drinking Negronis pretty much whenever I can.
Okay, because the heat?
So, yeah, because of the heat.
Because you're crazy from the heat?
Because I'm crazy from the heat, a la David Lee Roth.
I found an interesting little cocktail. This is called a silver nitrate bullet. You ready to hear what's in here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you might need a pen or rewind this if you folks need this. It's got gin. You can do 1 shot or 2 if you're a person who likes to taste your liquor. And then you squeeze a wedge of lime into there. Then you pour some ice in. You top it off with the stuff called tonic water. And then you garnish it with lime. It's called a silver nitrate bullet.
Oh, I love it.
Just make sure you put gin and tonic in there. That's mainly what it is.
So on the next page, we realize that she's actually going into a building called Sunnyview Mental Hospital. And she is going there. She's walking down the hallway, and the narration reads, "The corridors echo hollowly with her leaden footfalls. Can she go through with it?" she wonders. There's still time to turn back. But where would she go then? And it says, "Too late now." And she gets up there to the admitting nurse. She says, "May I help you, miss?" She says, "Yes, my name is Jessica Drew, and I'd like to." So she's there to see somebody, we know, but we don't know who yet.
Well, I didn't read it that way at all.
Okay.
I thought this entire page and all of her internal monologue was leading you to believe that she was checking herself in the nut house.
Really?
Yeah, that's definitely what it's supposed to be insinuating.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is the only place she can go now. She has decided here's the one place where there's someone to listen to her, help her.
Gotcha. Okay.
Here's the one place where they have to let her in. She's at the end of her rope, and it's totally suggesting that she's going to check herself into a mental hospital.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, that's awesome.
I actually loved it. I was like, holy shit, is she this is like pretty advanced for 79.
Yeah.
Acknowledging that people have mental illness and they're not supervillains.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's another good turn from Grunwald that I just didn't catch.
Yeah, so there's you've been distracted. There's that page leaves off with this cliffhanger. My name is Jessica Drew, and I'd like to ... So I was expecting to turn the page, like, check myself in. But she says on the next page, "I'd like to see a patient here, and Mrs. Priscilla Dolly." I don't know if we met her in 6, but she and Magnus rented a room for Mrs. Dolly, and she had a weird doll collection. She talked about her deceased husband, Nathan, and her 2 sons. I forgot their names, just normal dude names, but it was she also had 2 little dolls that looked like the Brothers Grimm. So it was all hinted that her sons were the Brothers Grimm, blah, blah, blah. And then come to find out, Nathan actually appeared in like Tales of Suspense 60-something, and was some dude that like got these voodoo dolls and got this power and used them on Iron Man and or Tales of Astonish. I can't remember what it was. And he's actually an existing villain, and he's dead. What? And he put his spirit, spoilers here, you can jump ahead 1 minute if you don't want to hear about this weird twist of this character, but it's revealed that the Brothers Grimm that we've seen in Spider-Woman is not her 2 sons dressing up like the Brothers Grimm. It's her husband's deceased body, who he used voodoo to animate mannequins. So she pulled a Scarlet Witch and thought her sons were real people. They were never children. They never had children.
Wow.
She just had boys all of a sudden, and missed her husband and believed they were real, like Pinocchio. And so when they collapse at the end of the big climax thing, like 5 issues ago, she loses her fucking mind, like Scarlet Witch did. She's like, oh my, like her mind crumbles because her sons were never her sons. They were fucking wooden doll people that were animated by her dead husband's voodoo spirit.
Oh, I love it.
I know. I love it too. So, they let her go see Priscilla Dolly just because she says she's a close friend, and like, oh, well, a visit might do her good. And so she goes and checks in. She's like, "Hey, how are you doing, Mrs. Dolly?" And they say, "Hey, if you want the whole story about this whole Brothers Grimm thing, check out Spider-Woman number 12. And they sit together and they're talking. And finally, Jess says, "I have to go now." And Mrs. Dolly says, "If you see William and Jacob, dear, please tell them their mother loves them, even though they won't visit her." So she's giving them a guilt trip.
Oof, God.
And she says, "I will, Mrs. Dolly. Take care." And she kisses her on the head. It's a very strange little visit. She's completely in denial. Forgot that she realized her sons never lived.
Yeah, what a messed up, weird little interlude that we have at the beginning of this issue. It's kind of cool, though, tying stuff up from earlier storylines. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think she said that the reason Mrs. Dolly was on her mind was because she ran from that creepy wax band guy to Mrs. Dolly's house because she knew no one was there because the sons were never real and the mom was in a nut house and Magnus is somewhere we don't know. There's my aside.
Well, let's move to the next page. So on the next page, she leaves the hospital and finally makes it to, would you call it the Hatros Institute? Hatros?
I was saying Hatros, but
let's say Hatros.
I think
like
Hatros
that.
sounds rad.
Yeah, so it's if you haven't read previous issues, it's the Hatros Institute of Emotional Research. Yeah, so yeah, I went through reading, just being like, God, which one was it? And of course, it's S, like you say, she actually mentions it. I was thinking it could have been one of those groups from like the Esalen Institute or just regular old Scientology. But so not a ton happens on this page, but Jess is late for work and her boss like really lays into her.
Yeah,
like,
Dr. Lehman's sick of her shit.
He really is sick of her shit.
She's been Peter Parkering a lot the last couple issues.
Okay, so this probably isn't undeserved exactly.
No, he's actually a really cool dude, and she's taken advantage of him massively over the last 5 issues.
Yeah, which he totally understands. He's just like, I've gone to bat for you quite often, Jessica, but there's a limit to what I will and can do. And then, like you say, I kind of like how Infantino and Esposito, like that final panel there is so romance and amazing on this page. Like, oh God, it's so gorgeous. And so, Jess in this last panel is thinking just what I need to top off a terrible night, a 15-minute lecture. I should have called in sick. But this afternoon is my therapy group, and this is the one day I really need it. And we're going to see what that therapy is. So, wow.
Yeah. She was kind of having a brief fling with a guy who was made of a bunch of human living flesh worms. So
yeah,
she's had a rough 24 hours.
She has had a rough 24 hours.
I did neglect to mention on that last page that when she sees Mrs. Dolly in the institute or mental hospital, she's working on a new doll and she has shears and they look like full on like tin snips. So I didn't know mental patients got to have those. We get to see another character that we've met before named Lindsay McCabe, who is around a lot, I think. I think they become friends, right?
Jess considered it's her only friend, basically, I think.
She's the one person not repulsed by her pheromones, which is not, that happens occasionally, but it is rare. So they kind of immediately bonded after their first session. And so they've been kind of circling each other. Lindsay's more into Jess than Jess is into getting to know her for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So she sees Lindsay, they go to their group session. So they sit, chairs all in a circle. And she's like, wow, are you wearing a new perfume or something? There's something different about you. And Jess is like, oh, well, because I'm taking a drug that cancels out my pheromones and make everyone fucking fear me. So I love the second panel where it's group sharing time and group therapy. So this dude's, stand up. He's like, and my woman hasn't spoken a word to me since I told her she reminded me of my mother. That killed me.
It's his expression too. Like he's getting up and waving his arms
around like a chimp. He's totally incensed. The next panel is another one of those romance. It's absolutely gorgeous. On the left, we have the profile of Jess looking down, and she's sharing. The background is solid red, and you see partial 3 faces of people like critically listening to her in the group. Perfect romancy kind of. It's just gorgeous. And she's just she can't be specific, right? Because she's a superheroine. So she's just saying, I can't do anything right. My relationships end really quickly and everything I do goes south. And, she's thinking I can't be too specific here. And then they call bullshit on this. They're like, there's a moment of hush. And then they all stand up like, is that all? Tell us more. She's like, I can't. And so I was like, you're suppressing Jessica. And he's like, stop resisting. And then there's this, Gil Kane's swarm of like people, heads around her going, open up, unmutual, get clear. We opened up to you. And she's like holding her head like, like an infomercial. Get out of my head. And the last panel is very Ditko. Like tears are streaming down her cheeks and her eyes are green and blazing with anger. It says, finally, she can keep it inside no longer. She's like, I can't tell you anymore.
Yeah, there's some cool panels on this page. I mean, it's a goofy page, but well, you know what these people remind me, you know what this institute reminds me of? This is the movementarians.
Yes, totally.
That's what this is.
Yep.
There's going to be some leader beans showing up at any point here. No, you're right. I mean, that page with it, you're right. It's a bunch of Gil Kane disembodied heads floating around her, yelling at her, and it's such a cool page.
Why are you suppressing Jacob?
Yeah, Unmutual.
Unmutual. I want to know what that's from. That's rad.
I want to know what that's from either. I mean, obviously, like Get Clear is Scientology. Yep. Like, I want to imagine there's some Primal Scream maybe thrown in here into the mix somehow. But the Hitros Institute is maybe I need to check it out, Matt. Maybe I need to see if they can help me out.
That sounds like a plan.
So Lindsay stops the session and kind of chastises everyone for going too far. So she then says, "Come on, Jessica, let's blow this pop stand." I was like, I like you, Lindsay. She says fun stuff. And then they jump into her cool convertible and take off. And I thought it was interesting. So Lindsay admits, she's like, I used to get off on those sessions. It was all a game to me, a charade to see how much I could tell about myself without letting the others know what's really inside. So Lindsay's not taking this seriously either. Like, she's just like going through the motions. She works there too, right?
No, I don't think she does.
She does. So she's just in this.
She met Jess through a session. She's almost like Helena Bonham Carter in Fight Club or something like that. No, I think she's interesting. And we have met Gypsy Moth once to date. And I thought this was Gypsy Moth. I thought that they were, because like Jess had a weird, did you read that issue? Like they didn't really battle, but they kind of crossed paths. And like Jess is drawn to her, like she's like me. Like she's also like insecty and weird and detached. And I thought, oh God, they're going to become friends before they realize they're like, while they're becoming enemies on the side.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to the other. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think she's Gypsy Moth.
Well, at the bottom couple panels, she says to Jess, "Want to stop somewhere for a drink?" Just like, "No, I don't think I could deal crowds just now." And Lindsay's like, "Oh, it's fine. Let's go to my place." on the bottom panel, she says, "Here we are at the swingin' singles complex that Lindsay McCabe calls home."
Norm!
Yeah, she's doing some narrative heavy lifting there.
Yes.
And Jess just says, "Nice." She says, "This building seems vaguely familiar. I must have passed it once."
So when you sign a lease here, it actually legally requires that you refer to it as a swinging singles complex. Like that's in the, language.
Yeah, it should be, because that's what Colden House is.
Mm-hmm. So sticky. Smells so funky. Art-wise, this page, I was tripping out on Lindsay.
I know, especially that bottom panel. Fuck.
It's not bad, but like
it's
there's a weird,
bad.
like, when JR is like really loose and it's like, wow, boning this one in, bud.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like that.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I thought it kind of reminded me almost more of like what you called an identikit face that we ran into in the original Werewolf by Night run. So yeah, that was, I think that panel is actually the most disappointing art in the entire issue.
I don't mind Jess in it, but yeah, Lindsay that's trash.
It was weird.
And if there's not a band called the Identikits, I think we should just claim it here, and then it gets published, and then it's like it's out there.
Yeah, we've come up with like 3 or 4 really decent band names in the show's run.
Yeah. Okay, so she shows her into her pad. She's got a nice place, and she says, "Ta-da!" Quote. This is a quote. "Enter freely and of your own will." End quote. "If you can stand the mess." And Jess is like, "Stoker?" Right. So she just quoted Dracula at her?
Yes.
Is that actually from Dracula? I've read Dracula like 3 times. I don't know if that's actually.
I mean, I think that's what is being intimated here, but I haven't read Dracula anytime recently to be able to say whether that's a quote or not. But it seemed like they were almost doing a bit there.
Yeah,
like Jess is like, "Stoker."
I hardly know her.
I hardly know her is what I expected Lindsay to say.
Poker.
But instead she's like, right.
So then she tells Jess, "Hey, make yourself comfortable. I'll make us some red zinger." I'm sure that's not like Acapulco Gold. I think it's just tea. So they have some tea and they just chat, and there's a nice panel of Colden House with the moon rising. It says the two women relax and talk, listen to Phoebe Snow records, and drink tea. Jessica finds herself opening up to the vivacious Lindsay, being drawn out of the gloom that has been her only companion these past weeks. Love that little reference. So there's asks Phoebe Snow.
This is 1979, baby.
Yeah. And so Jess is like on the verge of being fired. So, Lindsay's like, I got to get some sleep, because they talked like basically through the night. She's like, you know what? I don't want you to go home. I have a spare room. Just sleep here. She's like, oh, thanks. I'd like that. So she hits the hay in a borrowed nightgown, and she's feeling good for the first time in a few days. And then she hears, "Ow!" What was that? It sounded like the howl of. And it's the end of the page.
Yeah,
good
I know.
Page writing from Grunwald, by the way.
Yeah, he's into the page turning. Like he's so into the mechanics of comic storytelling. Like I love guys who are true fans when they write, especially when they first start writing, because they're just so excited about the medium.
Yeah. And I totally pick up on that excitement, and it translates. It always does. Even if it's not the best story ever, the excitement is transmitted.
It always translates, for sure. I love that last panel, by the way.
Yeah.
I love her. These are like pajamas that she's in that have like this, I don't know, Jacobean ruff collar or something.
Totally. It's like the clown in the Poltergeist, the clown doll.
It's really great, but that's one of my favorite panels, honestly, with the
very old lady.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's sexy old lady. Come on.
Lindsay McCabe sexy.
And then so on the next page, she's like, a dog or a wolf? And then she finally puts it together. I like that it's taken her this long for her to be like, oh yeah, I fought a werewolf here and he choked me out. I had forgotten about that. But she says, wait 1 minute. Now I remember why Colden House seems so familiar. And if it means what I think it does, someone I know is up to his old tricks. And then we get a pretty sexy panel of her changing. This is like colon Black Widow, late 60s, early 70s style, where they're just like, okay, we're going to do sexy silhouettes. That's what Marvel's all about. And so, it's a great panel.
The medicine that inhibits her pheromone production. There were some sexy scans.
Yeah.
Done. Yes. Yeah. With perfect shadows hiding the, as they're doing CAT scans, wherever the hell they are.
That's awesome. So she's into her outfit, and she gets into her costume. She said, I should have my head examined for doing that, but this is the only way he'll recognize me. So she's going to find Jack. She realizes that he's the werewolf, and she's going to find him. She crawls down the wall, but the narration says Spider-Woman climbs out the window and scuttles down the side of the building, which that kind of made me uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't like her scuttling.
I don't know if you have seen some early editions of Dracula. I thought this was weird that Stoker came up, because there's an illustration in the original printing of Dracula that has Harker looking out his window, looking up the castle wall, and Dracula's climbing down towards him. And it's horrifying.
Yeah, that's
and it's
terrifying.
Basically that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
so maybe. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it was very reminiscent of the early illustrations of Dracula preying on Harker.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so she's skittering down the wall.
Let's go for a skitter.
Yeah, let's go for a skitter. And she gets to Jack's window and says, muffled gunshots, like from a silencer. Is this where? And then we see the final panel, which is cool. It's at such a weird angle. Like Jess is upside down, but I don't know. It's a really, really cool angle. And we see Jack in his werewolf form just being like hurled out the window. And the narration says, as the mistress of mystery peers into the window below, a furry figure suddenly hurls out of it. In a flash, she recognizes the falling form to be that of Jack Russell, the werewolf.
I love that he's growling as he goes flying through the window.
He is.
And, I don't know, who do we blame? Behemoth, Coker. Somebody probably already broke out this window long ago. So there's no glass, there's no drink.
No, there's no drink because, all the windows have already been shattered multiple times in his apartment. So I'm sure the Colden House handyman is just like, no thanks.
I like to imagine that Philip just bought this place and he's just like, look, You know, what do I got to do to get my stepson back in here? Oh, he's a nuisance, blah, blah. How much is the building?
Yeah, no, you're right. I would like that Philip would do that because, you know, we know that Philip's a good guy now.
Yes.
I mean, it was funny going through Jack's first appearance with the Marvel by the Month guys, because I was like, oh yeah, Philip used to be kind of a bad guy.
Oh yeah.
I got so used to him being the cool guy. Like for the second half of the entire Werewolf by Night run, he's an awesome ally.
And an uncle.
And a great uncle.
Well, not a great uncle.
Not a great uncle.
A great uncle.
A super uncle.
So on the next page, Jess is looking down and watching the fall of the werewolf, and he does a cool like double spin and lands like a cat on his feet, kind of unevenly, but actually lands. He's on the third floor, so that's quite a feat. And she's like, thank goodness he managed to land on his feet. And then she sees a white gloved hand holding a pistol coming out through that same window, and she's like, I don't even know if Russell's the victim or a gun. And so she grabs the gun, and the figure that comes out is the enforcer, but he's in disguise. So he's got a fedora on and a purple trench coat. So he went to the Steve Ditko fashion warehouse to get his disguise. And she says, well, nobody gets shot until I can figure out what's happening. So she's holding his wrist that's holding the gun. He's like, hey, what the? And he's falling out the window, and then he falls loose. And she's like, and he does it intentionally. She's like, the fool. He wrenched himself out of my grasp. He better be as good at the 2-story falls as Russell is, and then he lands on his feet as well somehow, because body armor, I don't know. And she's like, he's even better. Now what's he? And then she's looking and, oh, wait, and he's aiming his gun at her. Pa-ting! So yeah, he's just firing away at her. And she's like, God, he doesn't care if he's spilling a wolf's blood or a spider's tonight.
Yeah, you know, this page gets the job done. It's 6 panels. They're all the same size, but and normally I would kind of be slightly bored by that, but I don't know. I liked the action and the storytelling on this page.
I thought it was a little confusing at times. I don't know why, because when you go panel by panel, it's clear, but just the rhythm felt a little strange or something to me. I don't know. I liked it too, and I like the textures. I love that Colden House looks like it's like that blown like popcorn, like kind of like cementy weird texture.
Yeah, it's a thick stucco kind of thing. But
it's all very blocky and postmodern. Like it looks like a community college in my hometown that was built like in 1962 or 1957. Like, you know, this is so the future. Yeah. And then like 10 years later, everyone's like, oh my God, what were we thinking? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so, but you know, the storytelling starts to get a little weird, like maybe on that last page, and then on this page too, it just kind of is out of nowhere. So at the top of this next page, we have 2 panels of Jess like dodging bullets. First one, she's dodging bullets. The second one, she shoots one of her venom blasts through the panel gutters, like through the border, into the third panel down there.
That's so cool.
It's
across
so cool.
the page.
Like across the page and hitting her thing. And honestly, I mean, I know shit like that is done all the time in more modern comics, and especially in a comic that was kind of using pretty straight ahead storytelling. This was one of like, I think there's another one in this issue where I was like, that's kind of cool and out of the box, weird.
I thought this was really
design.
Cool.
I thought it was awesome. And so, so it's like a giant Jessica, like shooting her venom blast at the small, what we know as the enforcer, but now he's the trench coated gunman is who he's called at this point.
Focus groups did not like that name.
No, they
preferred enforcer.
So she shoots him with her venom blast, thinking that's just going to be it. But then she says, wait, he's getting back to his feet. Is my venom blast that weak at this distance, or is he wearing some sort of protection? And then he just gets up and starts shooting at her again. She says, uh-oh, I've become a shooting gallery again. I'd better come up with something fast, and then he just, one of those shots hit. And Jess has been shot with what we don't know yet. The narration says, abruptly, the woman's body stiffens and she loses her grip on the sheer wall.
I love that she's using her Spider-Man-esque adhesiveness to literally just run like the Flash straight up Colden House.
Straight up the wall.
And then she stops, like you said, abruptly. And then so on the next page, we get this great long, skinny, vertical panel of her just dead dropping. So it looks like she's been shot. she's just free falling off of Colden House, plummeting down like a fallen angel, it says. And at the bottom below, we see the enforcer like looking up at her, waiting for her to hit the ground and die. But then, much like her namesake or whatever, like we've seen Spider-Man like fighting Man-Wolf, like swing down to a dead drop and then hit that momentum like right above the sidewalk and then just do a pendulum swing and use that momentum to knock Man-Wolf out. She does kind of the same thing. At the last moment, she spreads out her gossamer glider webs and pulls out of this fall. So she was playing possum. And she swings up and slams into the enforcer, driving him 20 feet before he slams onto the pavement. And she's like disarmed him. He's dropped his pistol. And now she's like, now to finish accounts. And she's just wailing on him. She's on top of him, just punching him. I love her.
That's awesome.
And then it says, but her exhilaration at her successful ploy is cut short by a sharp pain that explodes in the pit of her stomach. So we find out what that is the next page. But yeah, it seemed like she kind of had the upper hand on this guy, but he's no hack.
No, he isn't. Yeah, you're right. I mean, her move of that dead drop and then whipping out those gliders and going right into him. It's really, really cool. I love the layout on that page. I love the action. But on the next page, we realize, Jess crumples to the ground and her attacker says, managed to whip out my spare rod just in time. And then he says to her, you're a tricky one, Toots, but no match for a tranquilizer dart in the gut. And we're gonna see later on, this guy is tranquilizer dart happy. He just wants to shoot everyone like 1,000,000 times with 1,000,000 darts.
Yes. And every time the enforcer speaks, I've always liked this character because of his look. Every time he talks, he sounds like some 2-bit dude that Spider-Man would just web up and move on. Like,
well, I almost thought that was kind of a joke, like he sounds like one of the enforcers.
Yeah, the Spider-Man.
The characters. Spider-Man villains and the enforcers. So yeah, that kind of made me laugh. I was wondering if that was Grunwald doing some kind of funny continuity winks a little bit, because he kind of talks like Ox almost from the enforcers.
He does talk a bit like Ox, and I know that this character's background. I mean, he first appeared in Ghost Rider, I think.
Yeah, Ghost Rider 22,
and he's in there for a few issues, but he's done time. We learn more about him later. He actually becomes kind of an important character here and there, and his family ties and stuff like that. But I think that they're trying to set up that he's a hardened criminal who has been in and out of jail his whole life, and then at this point he's been given gear by someone, so he's funded, and now he has equipment to be more effective. So it doesn't come out quite yet, but that's why he's so incongruously like cool, expensive tech, and like just thuggish. At the same time. Yeah,
like any tough guy in Marvel Comics history, he's going to talk like Edward G. Robinson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we get a great panel after that of Jack. Jack looks like unhinged almost, like his eyes are almost going 2 different ways. Like I love like that.
A Barney
I know
Gumble burp.
It is. It is like that. And I wanted to imagine like, oh, it's probably not a very good face, but I want to imagine that was a choice that Jack is just coming to and has just become fucking unglued.
Yeah, he had his bell rung and he's really pissed off.
And the man says, what, the werewolf must have recovered from the silver nitrate pellets. He says, if I'd been a fraction slower, that might have been me he was shredding. So yeah, basically what Jack has done, and he looks really proud of himself in that panel as well. he tears the guy's Ditko-esque trench coat off, and we get to see the enforcer's outfit, which we realize is kind of tailored to werewolves in a weird way.
Mm-hmm. But which might be a tip.
Might be a little tip there.
Who's funding him?
So he says, no time to change clips in my rod. I hope these tranks will do him. And then he turns towards the werewolf, which is charging at him, says, come closer, beastie. I got a present for you. And then we get the most horrifying panel I think I have read in years, which is the werewolf is bearing down on him. His mouth is open, and he gets shot with a trank in the mouth. And I thought that was bad enough. And then the narration reads, the growl in the werewolf's throat becomes a yelp of pain as the knockout dart bypasses bared fangs and embeds itself in the roof of his mouth. I don't know. I have kind of a fake front tooth. I don't know if you've ever had work done on your front teeth to where they have to give you a shot in the roof of your mouth.
I've had worse than that.
And it's pretty fucking horrifying.
I've had a gum tissue graft.
Ooh, that's right.
So
you have.
I've had multiple injections in the roof of my mouth, and then they cut out a square of tissue and sewed it into my gums.
Nope.
After cutting that tissue off and then stitching it all together.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I have some, it's not as bad as fingernails and eyes, but I have some mouth horror because I've had that procedure done twice.
Oh, God. Yeah, I knew you had that done. I don't think you spelled it out exactly that much for me. But yeah, I have a roof of my mouth, needles in the roof of my mouth. I don't know who enjoys that, but I really, really am terrified by that. So that panel just made me cringe.
Epstein liked it, but he's
yeah. You're making it so topical again. The shows need to be evergreen.
Was Brian Epstein.
Way to save it.
So that last panel is up to this moment, my favorite rendering of the werewolf by Infantino.
It's awesome, right?
Yes. He's
Even
perfect.
though it's a little bit of a suckerfish mouth there, though.
He's
I love
growling.
it.
Like, I love that he's charging full on and the enforcer's just putting a gun right in his face and he can't, he doesn't know what a gun is because he's an animal.
Yeah.
So he's just setting him up. It's like one of those goddamn clowns at the Midway that you shoot squirt water into and blow up the balloon. But it's a tranquilizer dart.
I think you do like it when monsters classically put their arms in front of them.
I do.
In a menacing way.
Yes, and I like that he's saying grr in the panel before.
Classic grr.
In that middle panel, where the rendering of the werewolf in that middle panel is very Atlas, very late 50s kind of horror,
Yeah, that could come from Menace.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm not saying I like it or dislike it either way. I'm just saying it reminds me of 15 years earlier or 20 years earlier. And in that same panel, the way that I don't get why this guy's mask emotes with his expressions, because it's very clearly like a solid, hard plastic mask.
Oh, you hate that. You hate it.
But the enforcer's face in that middle panel is a Ditko face. I see a lot of Ditko come up in here.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the enforcer, the way he looks, man. That black and white suit is so just efficient and clean. The same way that early, that was Kane that drew Green Lantern, right? Like the broom era, like that. That super clean, just black, white, green. It's just
I know,
so clean
awesome.
and efficient, visually compelling. I love the enforcer, the way he looks. And that creepy, supposed to be lifeless mask is what makes him creepy to me. So when he starts,
you want it to be like a doll mask.
Yes, that's what makes it fucking creepy to me.
Oh, that is creepy.
Yeah. So okay. So wow, a little jog there. We have an unconscious Jessica, a tranked out werewolf, and enforcer's dragging the werewolf's feet, and he's like, Jess is wondering to herself, wait a minute, whenever I get exposed to a toxin or something or poison, my body immediately learns how to protect myself from it and becomes immune to it. So why is that not happening now? And enforcer's dragging the werewolf, and he's like, okay, you two, I want you both where I can keep an eye on you. And then in his ruthlessness, he's like, and since my briefing didn't tell me anything about you, I'm taking no chances. And he just shoots Jess with another tranquilizer dart. She's like, he shot me again. But her power set is that once she's exposed to one of those things, it has an effect. The second time, it immunizes her.
Yes.
So kind of got us there. So the enforcer's crouching over unconscious Jack, and he has a weird gun, and he says, I'm tempted to slag you bozos for all the hassle you've been giving me, but my bosses wouldn't like that. So you're just going to have to settle for my usual treatment. So he's holding a gun upside down by the handle, and he grabs the werewolf by the hair, pulls him up, and points the gun at the back of the base of his skull and says, here, Wolfie, take your medicine. And then he says, now you, witch, and does the same thing to Jess. And then his immobile mask smiles and says, I know you two can still hear me, so listen up. I've implanted in your spines a little gizmo called the Tingler. If either of you ever crosses me or even breathes a word about my existence, so I don't know. There's a reveal here again coming, but
there's a couple things about this page. So
we need to talk a little bit.
Yeah, so those two panels right before the last panel is one of those weird weird comic storytelling things to where it's almost like Jack and Jess are one panel. Like Jess goes through both of those panels,
and the Enforcer's just moving in the background of both of them.
And the Enforcer is moving in the background in both of those. It's strange, but it works so well.
I love it. I wish someone would tell us what the hell that's called. It has to have a name.
Oh, of course it does. It's just been too long since I read Understanding Comics, which means I read it, a year ago during the pandemic, and now I remember nothing about it. So
we should have asked Keating. I bet he would have known.
Damn it, Keating. Why can't you be here for this?
Useless.
So, I love it. And I love that the Tinglers being introduced. And man, there are so many single out of context panels where Jess is talking about the Tingler. They're just amazing. Like you just take those, just send them to a friend. They are hilarious.
Yeah. Before we move on with that, I like the efficiency of the Enforcer. Like he's not even fucking around. Like he is all business. Like he's just like double shot. Like I'm just going to shoot this person who's not supposed to be here. I'm going to shoot her twice.
Yeah.
Because why fuck around? Like he's that efficient.
No, he is. And any other villain would be monologuing as they're getting a second wind. But he's like, I'm going to talk, but I'm going to shoot you multiple times.
I'm going to paralyze you
sure.
first, and then I will talk at you. And so the Tingler, I just made me think of like the Triple Nickel or any kind of shithole bar where it's like you go in the men's room and there's a quarter machine with just some horrifying things in it.
The Tingler was always one of them.
The Tingler's always one of them. The Tingler's always involved.
Triple Nickel. You're doing so well with your deep Southeast Portland references this season. I think we need to keep it going. At least one an episode for this whole season.
You got it, Chief.
Yeah. Triple Nickel. Just one of the shittiest bars in Portland. By far. I don't think anyone ever enjoyed going there. I think it's just a place. I don't know. I'd rather go to the Water Trough than the Triple Nickel.
Yeah. But the worst place was on Hawthorne. It used to be Biddy's, and then it became something, and it was always dodgy, and like the staff was always doing blow. Like if you went there on Friday or Saturday, like you just couldn't get a beer for like 20 minutes because they were in the bathroom with like 7 other people just doing rails off the toilet seat or off the toilet tank.
Yeah, it was, or maybe
what
off
was that
the
called?
seat. It's
something
not
Irish, right?
Not O'Doul's, but something like that. Like something.
I always just want to know if that place is still around, because that was the like dodgiest. Like
so gross.
You can't do much worse.
No, you can't. But I know it's still there. But yeah, man, remember when it was Biddy McGraw's? That was, I don't know. I kind of liked it when it was Biddy McGraw's. Okay, we're turning this. Sorry, I'm taking us down this blind alley that no one's going to understand. So
Brian
I'm moving
Stratton's
on.
Shaking his head. Like,
yeah, that's right. Brian and Rob are like, we know what you're talking about. We see you. It's all right. Next page. The Enforcer tells them, he says the Tingler is going to cause a metabolic reaction in you that'll get your insides on fire.
So I didn't realize he was speaking literally. Like normally, people like, oh God, I went to Taco Bell after drinking all night. And, oh my God, my insides are on fire.
No, he means it literally.
We find out later. It's quite literal.
Yeah, but like you were saying, Jess promptly wakes up and then I kind of punches him grabs him by the throat and then just cold cocks him. Just punches him as hard as she can. It's so great. She says, I did it. The second tranquilizer actually helped speed up my natural immunization process. As for the so-called Tingler, it's having no effect on me at all.
Well,
it's so...
You got it from an adult bookstore, so I wouldn't expect too much.
Man, it's so awesome. Then she's like, I'll ponder that later. Right now, I want to see how this madman likes a point-blank venom blast. So she's pissed. Like, this guy, shot her in the gut with a trank, so she's not going to hold back. So he's out, and she says, that's more like it. And then, some good neighbor must have seen us out here and summoned the authorities. So yeah, the cops finally show up, and she's like, come on, Mr. Russell, I know you're about as fond of police as I am. And then just holds him and runs up the building again.
Queen Kong.
She is Queen Kong in this. There's a cop down there says, hey, Sarge, you see that?
that panel when she notices the police cars pulling up, the way that they drew Jack is like the most 70s fucking awesome van. Like, you can tell that he has longish, like 70s hair and mutton chops.
Yeah, well, it's all like airbrushed almost.
Yeah.
You're right, like a van.
I love the way that they drew him. Like, he's ultimate 70s 20-year-old kid. And he just happened to turn into a werewolf.
No, because all of his werewolf hair is also paralyzed. So it's just laying flat majestically against his skin.
Yeah, he looks rad. So she says, okay, I think this is his apartment. So she climbs up that same window he flew out of, and she lays him down. She's like, what? A body on the floor. And we see a Caucasian male body. And she says, after setting the werewolf in a chair, she rolls the body over, and we recognize who it is pretty much straight away. But she says, he's breathing, apparently. The gunman simply did to him as he tried to do to us. And then there's this moment, which is so funny, where Jack's just like, as a werewolf, goes, how is he? He's still in werewolf form. I forgot how funny this is when he's still Jack in a werewolf body. And she's like, what? You can talk. She's like, but I thought you were a mindless beast. And then he transforms in this very rough, but kind of cool. I don't know how to. In the upper left-hand corner, it's a rough werewolf. And then it becomes like wispy smoke between the two of human and wolf. And he says, I am the 3 nights of the full moon. And then he becomes an even weirder looking, fully formed Jack, saying, the rest of the time, I maintain my brains. But he looks kind of like, remember Ghost Nurse? Remember that one issue around Atlas? No, it wasn't Atlas. It was who was the Mr. Hyde guy? Not Despair.
No, it's just.
But Despair's that man thing. Interdimensional guy.
Yeah. Ghost Nurse, of course. Yeah, I remember that.
He looks like Ghost Nurse here. It's like,
he does.
Did you guys just not remember to finish this panel?
No, she haunts my dreams still.
So yeah, he's saying, 3 nights of the month when it's the full moon, I am a full-on werewolf, but the rest of the time I can do my thing that I did when my series got canceled. And there's a knock on the door and like, police. He's like, uh-oh, let's get him to the couch. So they move Buck to the couch. Jack answers the door, shirtless and tattered green jeans. And the cop says, hey, excuse me, son, did you see anyone crawl through your window about 2 minutes ago? And Jack's like, crawl through my 3rd-story window? Are you kidding? And then we cut to inside Jack's apartment, and Jess is clinging to the ceiling right above him as this is happening. Very cool Spider-Man-esque situation. And the cop says, hey, you mind if I have a look inside? And Jack says, got a warrant? And the cop thinks, smart aleck punk.
I love it. See, I almost thought, it's funny because of how the balloons are, I thought that Jess was thinking that because it's connected to the balloon above. Oh, right. Even though it's not. I mean, right. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it is him. But so I don't know. Like you say, this page has so many good things in it. When Jack finally says, like, how is he? Like he's got this like weird, like toothy shit-eating grin on. Like he's so excited, like, oh, I get to show her I can still talk and I have my brains and stuff. So yeah. And I don't know. It's really, really funny.
Which is weird. I guess I spoke incorrectly about a page or two ago when he was charging the enforcer. That was just him just being pissed that this guy hurt his friend Buck. He wasn't a mindless ravaging beast. But we were being faked out just like Jess was. Like last time we checked in preparation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I love that profile of him when he's like, how is he? His eyes are like just lit up like in a kind of manic, weird fucking Hunter S. Thompson kind of lit up Fear and Loathing way. Like he's fucking jacked.
Yeah,
jacked up on the juice.
Foreshadow to our bonus show where we're going to talk about the film Wolf Cop. That was the Wolf Cop expression
totally
that he had there.
Totally.
All right, so on the next page, so I just got to say, okay, so the cops leave and Jack looks really pleased to have Spider-Woman in his apartment. And by the way, on this page, he's looking jacked.
Yeah, he looks like he's cut.
Like what the shit? Like
that bottom left panel of him he's sexy as fuck.
I know. I was just like, oh my God, Mr. Russell.
And he has nipples. Finally.
There
you
go,
my letters.
They got all your letters in 1979, so they put those nipples on for you.
You're right, though. That first panel, he, without skipping a beat, just kind of leans up against his wall, like folds his arms, like, well,
hey, got rid of him. And she's like, good going, Mr. Russell. And he's like, call me Jack.
I've got some Cavassier.
Yeah, he's trying to be all smooth, and then he's like, hey, how'd you know my name? And then confusingly, she's like, we met once before, though I doubt you'd remember. I'd be glad to tell you all about it, but first I want to know what's going on here.
Doubt you'd remember?
Yeah, I doubt
my friend mind raped you?
Yeah, I know.
With magic?
Yeah, that's...
You probably don't remember because we completely have violated every fucking thing that's sacred to a human being's sense of self.
Yep, that's right. We just plucked that out of you. No worries, though. And then Jack starts doing a little reminiscing, which made me pretty excited. Do
you remember when I read this to you?
Yeah, I do.
I think it was like the last regular episode of the...
Yeah, it was when we talked about 43,
42
right?
or 43, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is answering some big questions that we got at the end of the Werewolf by Night run. So I thought it was funny. So yeah, she basically asks Jack to catch her up on continuity, and he's ready for it.
I just love that Grunwald, like, this is not a Wolfman. This is not, the Minch. Like, this is, nobody has a dog in this fight. Grunwald wanted to tell the story. I thought it was so weird.
It's cool, right? I mean, again, he's a continuity guy. He cares. He's really interested in characters' backstories. So yeah, Jack goes on saying, well, I'm not exactly sure myself, but if I remember his mug from the papers, that guy we were fighting was the Enforcer. We have an editorial note saying, previously seen in Ghost Rider 22 to 24. That's from Roger Stern. He goes on to say, some souped-up hood who has recently sprung from the joint. As for what he wanted with my friend Buck and me, and it goes to a series of panels on the side there. I'm not certain, but I have a hunch it has to do with an incident that occurred to Buck while I was off in New York. Buck was entertaining his fiancée and her kid, which we remember.
Buttons.
And then Buttons is running in. What was Buttons? What was her name again?
Her real name?
Yeah, her real name.
Did they just call her Buttons?
No, not Buttons, her mom.
I'm totally blanking.
Yeah, I am too. Sorry. But anyhow, yeah, Buttons comes in and says, Mommy, a bad man has Lissa. Jack says, Buck went to the kitchen to see what she was talking about and found my sister Lissa passed out at the feet of an intruder. And Buck's in his wheelchair saying, you, after all these years. And Jack goes on saying, it turns out that the intruder was an old employer of Buck whose sudden appearance caused Sis to faint. Buck listened as the wild-eyed man ranted, your time has come, Cowan, to pay me back for helping you.
Can I cast this?
Yes, please.
Clint Howard.
Oh, wow. That's generous.
I don't know. Yeah. He's bald. He's a freak. Yeah,
he's a freak.
He's disheveled, slavish.
He is properly disheveled. So yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay. So yeah, we've learned a little bit about how the Enforcer works, and we know that he's connected to Buck. And yeah, so here we go. Remember when we were talking about how he said, set your insides on fire?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so here we go. He was getting ready to speak about the Enforcer, and so he literally bursts into flames on the next page. Before he could say another word, he somehow burst into flame. The Tingler is a bitch.
Yeah.
So Buck, Buttons, and Elaine?
Nicely done.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
I feel like it's Elaine. Go running out of Buck's awesome beachside house, and they get everyone to safety, and then we get this weird panel on the upper right. Buck's got his hair grow out a little bit. He's got kind of a hippie vibe. Before he was kind of like I was in the military. I've seen some shit. I was in, Da Nang. And now he looks like he's, I don't know. He looks like he definitely puts weed flakes in his hand-rolled cigarettes. Like, he looks a little different.
Well, he saw the monkey's head and it changed his life.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So since then, Buck's been investigating the circumstances of the guy's weird death. And Buck is still in a wheelchair, sure enough, in Jack's apartment in Colden House as Jack's on his couch listening to him. Says he had come over tonight, in fact, to tell me what he learned. So the Enforcer can't have that. So, but Jack continues, but Buck barely walked in when this enforcer character showed up. Soon as he flashed a gun, I changed to my hairy self, and he blew me out the window with silver buckshot. That's where you came in, Miss Spider-Woman. So your friend didn't have a chance to tell you anything? Nope. And unless Buck can reject the effects of the Tingler like us super types, he's not going to be telling. Listen, Jack, I have to be going now, but I'll be back tomorrow night so we can follow this up, okay? And she glides away off his balcony, and she has a weary smile on her lips, thinking, I like this Jack Russell. Why hadn't I thought of renewing our acquaintance before? The final narration is just, yesterday she felt alone against the world. Today she has found a friend, both as the Spider-Woman and as Jessica Drew. Tomorrow, who knows?
Who knows?
So she did not return, as far as I can tell, the next night. You said she meets up with Spider-Man, who is a very New York-y type guy.
Yep.
She go to New York, or does he come to L.A.?
I think he comes to L.A. He's sent by the Daily Globe.
The Globe? That's when he was,
Yeah, this is 79.
Both sides,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so he's sent to L.A. and but I do like, he does call out how hard it is to swing from the short buildings in L.A.
Good.
I was just like, all right. Grunwald knows his fan service. He likes to point shit out that all of us have been waving our fingers at forever. So
yeah, I wish we'd had more of him.
I know, God, he died way too young.
This middle panel of that last page, when Jack's looking at Jess, beautiful drawing of Jack.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's very unique though. I can't think of exactly what kind of art style it's supposed to be, but I mean, maybe that's just an Infantino. Yeah,
I think it's just Infantino just kind of like digging into this guy and just kind of enjoying drawing him. I don't know.
Yeah, God, Infantino's been working, I mean, just as an artist for so long. I honestly thought he got his start on the tail end of Golden Age Hawkman.
Whoa.
Like I think he's been working since like the early to mid 40s.
Damn.
So, I mean, this is at the end of an incredible career.
So but 35 years later.
Yeah, he's doing great shit still.
Yeah, great stuff. So, that's it. I mean, the Tingler struck. This guy burst into flames because he was trying to talk about the Enforcer. We've talked in the past in season 1 about Buck's incredible gunmetal file drawer cabinet.
That's right.
What all's in there in these X-Files. So this guy is just vague. He was an employer of Buck's, but we don't know. Buck's a writer by trade, but who knows what Buck's done? Maybe Buck lied to us. There were definitely some question marks thrown up around Buck in the very end of the original run.
Yeah, I think when we realized that, he kind of made himself out to be like man of the people reporter, but he seemed to have a agenda running underneath that was all paranormal. Like that's what he really cared about.
Yes. And so we found ourselves hoping that his relationship with Jack was sincere and genuine and not just manipulative. And we don't know yet. If nothing else, Jack did take away his legs. So it's just an advance on a some ode.
By mauling him near to death.
Yes. In the snow, so it didn't hurt as bad.
It was in the snow, yeah. And so that made the blood look really pretty, at least, comic-wise. So what are your final thoughts for this, my friend?
Both times I read this, I was like, wow, that's an abrupt ending.
It's a very abrupt ending.
And then I would flip back and be like, oh, that's right. The first half was all Jess and Est, Hatros. So it makes sense, but they really crammed this stuff in the last 5 pages. It was great. I liked both halves of the issue.
I did too.
Some beautiful layouts and execution here. I don't know. I don't have a lot negative to say about it. It felt too fast. It felt a little rushed. If the whole issue had been this pacing, I would have been all into it because it's bananas. I don't know. What did you think?
Well, I felt like just in comparison to the issue before, which was so batshit and dark and filled with like death and body horror, like this issue kind of compared to that one feels a little slight. And it almost made me wonder, like, did Shooter read that last issue and then was like, oh, okay, let's reel it in, boys. Just a little bit. Like, let's get back to some kind of normal action, not faces melting.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So I'm like 90% sure that Grunwald saw the 1978 movie The Incredible Melting Man, which was a bomb but had really cool special effects, horrifying body horror. I mean, it's an astronaut who returns from a mission with some condition, and he's essentially just, his flesh is melting off of his body, and it's horrifying. I think Rick Baker might have done some of it or all of the special effects.
Oh, that's cool.
It's one of the beloved MST3K later episodes, I think. So if you want to see some cool special effects and also have the shitty story kind of lambasted, it's worth checking out. But I have a feeling like Grunwald saw that in second run and was like, ooh, we should do something like that for Spider-Woman. And then, like you said, Shooter probably came in and was like, guys, is everybody okay at home? How's everything at home? Everybody happy?
Yeah, no, because it's so dark. Yeah, I can't say enough. Everyone read the issue before this because it's
my favorite so
dark. Far. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, just kind of that melty body horror reminded me of the Mud Pack storyline from Detective Comics and the Alan Grant, Norm Breyfogle. R.I.P. Alan Grant. Holy shit! Yeah, that was a bummer.
Been a tough year.
Yeah, it's been a really tough year. But that one, I don't know. I mean, I think you and I have just talked at length over these last couple seasons at how much we love his Batman writing. It's my favorite. Honestly, I mean, I know it's also the stuff that I am most, I have the most nostalgia for, but I also think after reading a ton of other Batman, I think even not through the lens of nostalgia, I think his and Norm's storytelling and those issues of Detective they did is top notch.
Yeah. I have a hard time separating that from where I was in my life and my development as a person. Like I was like 13 or whatever. Like, so, you know, and the Batman film was coming out. Or just come out or something. I don't remember.
I think it just come out. Yeah.
So, I mean, I could not get enough of that. Like you said, Norm's art and Alan's writing, absolute gold. Like I love Aparo is probably my favorite artist, you know, Batman artist across the board. I don't know. But yeah, as far as like the writer and the artist coming together and making I think that's my favorite run as well. It's hard.
Yep. I bound it and I love it. I read it all the time.
How long was that run? How many volumes did you bound?
Well, I think they did some. I just did the one that I remembered. I didn't read any. I think after issue, they did some together before issue 600. Then they had the issue 600 storyline, which was like 3 oversized issues. I think it's Blind Justice. Yeah. They had that guy who was like a film writer. I can't remember his name, but he wrote it. And then after that, Grant and Breyfogle have like a 20-some issue run after that, and that's the one that I bound. Those are the ones I remember the most. I don't think I read too much before that that Blind Justice storyline. I think that's where I actually came on in Batman. I came on pretty late. Like I just the stuff that was happening in the late 70s, early 80s on Batman, I just didn't get into.
I think I bought stuff here and there and kind of jumped around, but that stuff, that was Detective, right?
That's Detective.
Yeah. That was the stuff I locked onto and was like, this is good. And anytime there was a, like you said, the Mud Pack or some type of like storyline like that, those 2 or 3 issues together, I was so excited by that because, you know, I was still coming off the high of Kraven's Last Hunt. Yeah. And that seemed like that was where it was at, was like a sustained story.
Yeah. And I feel like their run absolutely was as good as, you know, some of the best stuff that was coming out of Marvel.
Yeah, so, totally.
So yeah, this is a long-winded thank you to the great Alan Grant.
Isn't there an issue with Demon in there as well?
Oh yeah, that's one of. Didn't Jack post that was he did a post, I think, Stapled Spine.
You're right.
About and he's saying that that's his favorite issue, and I'm like, that might actually be my favorite issue as well.
I still have it in a long box.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of mine too. It's a single issue with Kirby's the Demon, and God, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
yeah. Anarchy's in that run. Like, there's so many good issues.
Anarchy, wow. Okay, take me back.
Yep.
Let's do a letter.
Oh, for sure.
This is kind of tough. So this is from issue 26, I believe. I don't want to get too bogged down in letters, but I kind of want to read a dick. You want to hear from a dick?
Kind of.
It's not Jack specific though. But we've been talking about Spider-Woman in this run so much, I feel like it's kind of, I don't know. Damn. I could just jump around too, because these are long letters and some of them are just, okay, here's a good one. This one's highlighted in yellow. So apparently the editors thought we should read this one. Dear Marvel, I like this Jack Russell. Why hadn't I thought of renewing our acquaintance before? Jessica Drew, I love you. I, who thought that moving Spider-Woman to the U.S. was a mistake. Make Jack Russell and his hairy counterpart a regular character in Jessica's existence. Let number 19 be the first of many nights, keeping up the California Gothic style of Wolfie's late lamented Mag. It fits in well with Spider-Woman's style. Jeffrey Scott Baker, Wichita, Kansas. And we get, who's MG? Response MG?
Oh, who would that be?
Anyway, well, Barry and Jeff, as you've... sorry.
It's Mark. It's Mark's
Grunwald.
doing...
Okay.
Grunwald's actually doing the letters. That's cool.
Okay, I'm just used to it being the editor.
I know.
So this is Spider-Woman 26. As you've doubtlessly noticed by now, neo-scripted Michael Fleischer has opted not to pick up on Jack and Jessica's budding friendship. However, Michael feels he's come up with equally as interesting a supporting character in Scotty McDowell. And if enough of you request it, maybe the Werewolf by Night will pop up again at some point. Okay, so yeah, this is again in the future, so we don't have the benefit of these 9 issues or whatever it is, 7 issues.
Yeah,
Scotty's like a dude in a wheelchair that she meets. He's like basically the
yes.
He's like the dude from She-Hulk, Paul Williams.
Yeah, well, he looks like the DJ guy too.
Yeah.
Because I think I went and looked at some of those issues, and Michael Fleischer writes like the last like 2 or 3, I think, and it's a different art team, different everything, and it didn't look very good at all.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
So Commander Quody and his Lost Marvel Madmen have a long letter, but I'm just going to read the pertinent stuff here. As far as issue number 19 is concerned, I do feel that the persona of Jack Russell and his involvement in that story were given too much of the once-over lightly treatment. But what I did like was, A, Jessica's therapy session. Her reaction to her fellow therapies was beautiful. As in, who needs them? 1970s pop psychology has always been one of my pet hates, and I'm glad Mark has chosen to emphasize that real friends are of more value than all the screaming sessions in the world. Lindsay could be the stabilizing influence to Jessica's life. B, the bizarre actions of the Enforcer. I love how the baddies act weird in this book. The Waxman of last issue was a grotesque masterpiece. Although the Enforcer was more of the stock type, I really enjoyed the little touches, like shooting Spider-Woman when she was down. The strangeness fits in perfectly. C, the fine sequence near the beginning of the book where Jessica visits Mrs. Dolly in the asylum, with the reader not quite able to tell if Jessica is going to commit herself. Wouldn't that be a first? That we should have any doubts attest to the subtlety of the book. So there's that.
So yeah, I think on some of the future issues that we're going to cover on Spider-Woman, Michael Fleischer is going to be the author on that. He wrote issue 32 with the Frank Miller monster cover.
Oh, okay.
And Steve Lealoha is the penciler on that, with Jim Mooney as inker.
Oh, well, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Another person, Barry, that we mentioned, said, as far as the Enforcer is concerned, well, he's one of Jerry Conway's duller characters, but at least he's down to earth and quasi-realistic. I look forward to seeing Jessica's relationship with Jack Russell develop over the next few issues, and I do hope the book continues to have the tone it had this issue. I don't know, some people... Yeah, I'll have to send you that dick letter, because that guy's a dick.
Yeah.
He sounds very modern. Okay, I need to give you a taste. You need a taste.
All right.
Gentlemen, I don't collect Spider-Woman. I don't even like Spider-Woman. I do, however, read it. I have now decided to write you and let you know what I think about the character. I do not like Carmine Infantino's work, so I will not comment on the art. I read the story already prejudiced, though, because of this. Still, the writing is adequate. I could even conceivably like the book if the art team were right. The problem, as I see it, is that the character of Spider-Woman is too unreal. The book does nothing to discourage this feeling of unreality. She cannot perform anything a human can with any competency, yet the mag insists she's human. She has been handed a set of emotions stolen from early 1960s movies. She can't make anything work because she is out of place in society. She's not all human after all, so give her a break. So I am uncertain what effect you're trying to produce. Pity? Invariably, the storyline leads me to more indifference than any type of solid emotional identification. The villains she meets are too bizarre. The normals are too sporadic, and the heroes too few. The woman either needs a psychiatrist or a long talk with another superhero. Another thing, the men she meets and says, hey, this guy is interesting, all disappear the next issue without a thought. I haven't heard her wondering about Batman, the Shroud, in a while. Perhaps she doesn't have too good a memory? Aha, now you say, we are giving her Jack Russell. The absurdity of having Russell and Drew together appalls me. Jessica must have pretty weird tastes. First, she dates a wax man. Now she's interested in a werewolf. I just cannot believe this comic. It is just too weird in some sick sense. I think you should all go see some shrinks. Jeff Daniels, North Miami Beach, Florida. Florida man's first letter, guys.
Oh, wow. That was awesome.
Isn't he a cunt? Jesus God.
Yeah.
I don't pay for this book, but I read it, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it. And I hate it.
Birth of an incel.
God. Anyway, feels like there's some kind of mixed stuff going on, but I think people are kind of coming around to this book at this point.
I think so. Yeah, I noticed in some of the letters, at least, that they publish the few issues of Marvel Unlimited. They were talking about how everyone was like, "When is she going to meet Spider-Man?"
Yeah,
and that happens next issue.
Yeah, and I was like, as late as possible.
Yeah,
I love that they're on opposite sides of the country.
Yeah, for a reason, and it works.
Yeah.
But well, no, I'm glad. So we'll revisit Jess a couple episodes from now. But next episode we are going to do, what is it? Marvel Team Up 93, and we are going to have for his first appearance on our show, a special guest, Ryan Doze from the Mighty Thor podcast, Across the Bifrost.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. We've been on Ryan's show multiple times, have a great time with it. He's been killing it this last season, going through the Jason Aaron run of Thor, culminating in a great interview with Jason Aaron himself. So, yeah, if you haven't checked out Across the Bifrost yet, please do. You'll really love it. But, yeah, we're going to have Ryan on next week, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool. That's Tatterdemalion, you said?
That's Tatterdemalion, yeah.
I like him.
I know. I love that issue. He does.
I'm repelled yet intrigued.
Yeah.
By stinky villains.
That's pheromones for you.
Yeah, that's pheromones. You guys call in, leave a voicemail at 971-220-5865. 971-220-JUNK. Or you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Send us a screen cap of that, and Jacob will send you those buttons made out of genuine werewolf flesh, or werewolf comics. Genuine. Yeah, and of course, there's always Patreon. As we mentioned before, you can go there and check out the reading list for this season. You can also join one of our levels of support and get our weekly bonus show. We recommend you do the $4 or $5 level. That's where you get the bonus show with video, and you get shout outs. Yeah, these are the shout outs that we give you if you subscribe to the highest tier of our Patreon. Be like people such as Michael G., Tim Tucker, Brian from Marvel by the Month, Josh Link, Jeff Fitzpatrick, the Caleb, Ben M., Michelle from Moonlit Comics, Mark Nivens, Rob Haferman, Russ from Tomes of Evil, good old Eric Hadley, the best Brad Elmore, and Johnny Tana, and Jackson T. Overstreet, who you heard at the top of this episode. Thanks, Jackson. Tony Iupi, Jared C., Brink, Ryan from Across the Bifrost, Bill from Long Island, and David D. Thank you for supporting us at the Pack Brother, Pack Sister level. You help make this show awesome. All right, so this week on the bonus show, if you are a Pack Brother, Pack Sister, or a Moon Beast, you can get the video version of the show. Otherwise, you have to settle for the audio one at the furry one level.
Furry one. That's right.
Yeah, but we do try and make it kind of visual. We throw stuff in there, so it is a video show. On this one, we're going to talk about, as Jacob said, Wolf Cop from 2014, a Canadian horror comedy. And I'm starting a new segment called The Urge to Scourge. I've had the urge to read through the infamous 80s villain Scourge, the vigilante who killed costume villains. And so we're doing like quick reviews of those storylines, just super fast, like with a timer, just to get through them. I think I was triggered by the Enforcer because he's the first victim.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll be doing that as well. Anything else fun on there, Jacob? Or are we just going to chit the chat? I could just chit the chat.
No, I think we're just going to chat. We're going to talk about Wolf Cop, and yeah, that should be it.
Okay. I also read a comic that was from Scout Comics called Atlantis is Not for Tourists. That's set in Oregon on the coast with a Lovecraftian horror vibe.
Oh, yeah.
I might talk about that for a minute, but I don't know. We can just talk about what else we've been reading besides this stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, so check us out there. It's bonus content, and it's Matt and Jacob, so the doy.
That's right.
All right. Thanks for joining us this week, listeners. We'll be back next week. And until we meet again beneath the full moon, furry ones, here's howling at ya.